In this video, we will be discussing circles and what to do after proving two triangles congruent in a proof. Recall that the area of a circle formula is pi times the radius squared. Okay, R stands for the length of the radius. To calculate the circumference of a circle, we can use either the formula 2 times the radius times pi, or the diameter times pi, since 2 times the radius would give us the length of the diameter. To label a circle, we always label a circle by the center point. We cannot assume a point is the center unless it is given. This will help us determine which segments are considered a radius. A new theorem about circles is all radii of a circle are congruent. Recall that a radius comes from the center point to a point on the circle. So anytime you are given a circle, always look for those radii, because we are going to be using this theorem a lot whenever you have a circle in a diagram. So let's take a look at this given and see what conclusion that we can make. We are given circle B, so we know that B is the center of the circle. Again, look for those radii. So the statement that we can make is that AB is congruent to BC, since those two segments are radii. They come from the center point B and they go to a point on the circle. The conclusion for this, or the reason I should say for this, would be all radii of a circle are congruent. So keep this theorem in mind whenever you have a circle in your diagram. Now, switching gears, up until this point, we've talked about proving triangles congruent, but now we're going to take those proofs one step further using something known as CPCTC. CPCTC stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. We've already discussed congruent parts back in the last section. So we are going to continue to identify them by using the order of the letters. So after proving two triangles congruent, we can come up with 6 other congruencies for a total of 6 conclusions. Looking at the order of the letters, you must determine which parts are corresponding. There are 3 corresponding sides and 3 corresponding angles. So the first conclusion that we can make would be that side AB is congruent to side DE. So now pause the video here and see if you can come up with the next 6 conclusions. Okay, so now double check to make sure you have all 6 conclusions labeled correctly. We could use any one of these conclusions after proving two triangles congruent, and the reason would be by CPCTC. We'll let you abbreviate. So keep in mind, CPCTC is the reason, not a statement, so we should never see CPCTC in the statements column. CPCTC is the reason why sides or angles in the two triangles you prove congruent are also going to be congruent. So we use it to prove sides congruent or to prove two angles congruent in two triangles. This last one is very, very important. We always use CPCTC after proving two triangles congruent. You can never use CPCTC before proving two triangles congruent because it wouldn't make any sense. Recall that CPCTC stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Therefore, you have to have 2 congruent triangles in order to use this as a reason. Okay, so hopefully you have a better idea of circles and CPCTC.